A very good day to Dr. Muhammad Rushdan bin Yasoa. For the subject AAT 20903, Performance Management 2, we are going to present about evolution and issues of budgeting system in Malaysia. Our group members consist of 4 persons, which is Uveinthiran, Muhammad Aidil Akmal, Nurul Nazifa, and me, Nur Fatin Fitriah.
First, for introduction, I will tell the meaning of budgeting. If we are looking into what is budgeting, we can find many answers, so I will tell it one by one. First, a budget is a quantified plan for action for a forthcoming accounting period. According to Lambert Isaac 2015, budgeting is a key tool for public and business management. Many of us are familiar with it because we do it in our personal life in a business. Next, according to other research, we can say that budgeting is a tool used in accounting to help an organization carry out its strategy. Lastly, budgeting can be useful tools for managing and keeping track of an organization money. Even though different people have different ideas what this budgeting means, there are some similarity that can be learned from it, and we can say that making a budget is a very important. Next, I will tell the role of budgeting. First one is set target. Budget are a great way to keep track and control things. They give a clear plan for how the business should be run. Second is control spending. The budgeting process helps control spending by giving an accurate list of what will be spent. Without a budget, a business won't be able to keep track of how much it spent and could lose a lot of money. Third is budget communities. For this role, I will give an example. If the business give a lot of money to the sales department, it means that the sale and distribution of the project are very important to the business. Next, strategy require funding. Budget help a business figure out how much it needs to spend on capital investment. Next is provide a profit margin. The pro firma financial statement are made with the help of budgeting process. By making this financial statement based on prediction, a business can keep track of its profit margins. And the last one is plan future expenditure. Small business can plan for future expenses with the help of budget. This plan make it possible to figure out how many sales are needed to make enough money to pay for the budget.
Hello everyone, my name is Uveinthiran son of Sinivasan, metric number A20B2347. So today I'm going to explain about types of budgeting. First, incremental budgeting. So incremental budgeting is where the budget is based on the current year's budget plus an extra amount for estimate growth or inflation. Incremental budgeting also called traditional budgeting or annual budgeting. Secondly, fixed budget. A fixed budget is a budget which remains unchanged throughout the budget period, regardless of a difference between the actual and the original planned volume of output or sales. Fixed budget are set in advance and do not change. Thirdly, flexible budget. A flexible budget is a which, by recognizing different cost of behavior patterns, is changed as the volume of output and sales changes. Next, I would like to explain about flex budget. A flex budget is a revised budget that reflects the actual activity level in a budget period. A flex budget is therefore used retrospectively to compare actual results achieved with what the result should have been under the circumstances. Moreover, I also would like to explain about zero-based budgeting. So this is a method of budgeting that requires each cost element to be specifically justified as through the activity to which the budget related will have been undertaken for the first time. So zero-based budgeting results the efficiency resources allocation and sustainable for discretionary spend. Furthermore, I also would like to explain about activity-based budgeting. Uses the cost determined using activity-based costing (ABC) as the basis preparing budget. ABB ensures that costs are managed. Last but not least, I also would like to explain about rolling budget. A rolling budget is a budget that continually updated by adding a few accounting period, month or quarter when the earliest accounting period is finished. Rolling budgets are useful in times of uncertainty. Thank you.
History and evaluation in budgeting system in Malaysia. The government initiated the reform that would eventually lead to the evaluation of the budgeting system in Malaysia as a part of its efforts to strategically and economically develop the nation. In order to implement program for the nation's sustainable and equitable development, this budgetary reform placed a strong emphasis on increased accountability, responsibility, and disciplined financial management within the various government agencies. In order to improve operational sustainability and forest result-driven accountability, this reform aimed to transform public budgeting system away from simplification in control and distribution in favor of a greater focus on output, outcome, and efficiency. Malaysia budgetary system evaluation being in 1957 as a part of the government endeavour to strategically develop the country based on this goal. From 1957 to 1968, the Malaysian government implemented incremental line item budgeting. The line item budgeting, which was passed down from the colonial era, was doubled with the minimal budget and government's responsibility limited to law enforcement. The government implemented a new program performance budgeting system from 1969 to 1990. These are various reasons why the government previously took steps to reform the budgeting system. The government was concerned about the inadequacies from the line item budgeting system in meeting the needs of the country developed. As a result, the government changed its budgeting mechanism in 1990. It was introduced to compensate the shortcoming of PPBS. The government stated in its 2010 the budget addressed that it will change the structure of budgeting allocation and expenditure to make more efficient and effective. As a result, in 2010, the outcome-based budgeting or OBB is developed. Next is issue in budgeting. First is about the time. Manually completing a budget can take up to 3 months for an organization. Most firms develop their budget just to the beginning of the fiscal year. Typically, budget owners utilize the current year actual as the foundation of the following year's budget. Creating a budget can be a quite time-consuming, especially in a disorganized workplace where multiple versions of the budget may be required.
Next is unrealistic result. A budget is based on a set of assumptions that are often not too dissimilar from the operational condition under which it was developed. If the business climate changes significantly, the company's revenue or cost structure may shift so drastically that actual results quickly diverge from the budget projections. This condition is especially problematic in the event of a sudden economic downturn, as the budget allows a level of spending that cannot be sustained by the reduced revenue level. For the last one is consider financial outcome. Since a budget is based on numbers, it tends to focus management on the quantitative parts of a business. Usually, this means a strong focus on making or keeping the business profitable. In reality, customers don't care about a business profit. They will only buy from it if it provides good service and well-made products at a fair price. Since these are qualitative ideas, it is hard to fit them into a budget. So, the idea of budgeting doesn't always meet the needs of customers. In conclusion, one of the most important tools for running business is a detailed budget that is based on fact. A proper budget will identify available capital, estimate expenditure, and anticipate revenues. Budget can also be used to encourage outside investment for corporate growth. We can say that the budget system is very important to an organization because ignoring it can have a big effect. Thank you.